Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to Afrique 24. And today we have Mzalendo Uncensored, and tonight we bring you the story that is shaking Kenya's political foundation. The dramatic fallout of the Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi and President William Ruto. This is not a joke. This is politics. It's a tale of power, allegations after allegations, governance, and defines what we have in the political spectrum. Even when you talk to your friends, this is the kind of discussions that you normally have, but on your WhatsApp pages and where you're having a drink, it is just allegation, confrontation after confrontation. And I have my good friend here, Brother Ben, to try and analyze what is happening in the political scene in Kenya. But before we go into the deep details of this scenario, we want to pass our message of condolence to the family of George Oduor. George was indeed a dear friend to so many people in the political arena, and those who saw George. Brother Ben, did you know George in person?
No, I did not know him in person, but most of the time I would see him in pictures, especially where the Right Honorable Prime Minister would be, and we knew that I knew that he was the security aide to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and from yesterday now was trying to dig more about him, and I came to realize that Raila actually took him immediately after the death of his father. He was also the aide to the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. So he's somebody, to me, I think, in the Oginga family. He has played a crucial role for both the Jaramogi family, to Jaramogi himself, and to Raila too.
Personally, I knew George because we have had a drink or two. We had our famous joint, and my close friends, people like Omole Asiko, we used to, hang out with George a lot. And George is married to somebody I knew, Carol, from a long, long time in Oma Bay. So I knew George, and it's sad that we have lost a dear friend. Somebody was calm, collected. Somebody knew his job, and in many occasions when we met with George having a drink at Kuche Kuche,
Yeah.
we never talked about. The most interesting part is that George never talked about politics at all, in the social gathering. We would meet, and we would have our drinks, and we would all go home. And you are hoping that I would tell you something about Raila Odinga and his next move. But interestingly, he never mentioned Raila at any time. But my first encounter with George was with my close friend Philip Atale. When Raila was brought the armor, the famous armor, when Bosco delivered the famous armor, I was in that office. It was very early in the morning, and with Philip we came, and it was at 6 at Capitol at his political office. Raila has an office in Upper Hill, so we went there very early. Yeah, we had some deals that we were making, so we went there very, very early with Philip. Of course, Philip then was living in Buruburu, so we drove there very early in the morning, and the hammer was being delivered coincidentally, and that is the day I also met Miguna. That is the first time I encountered Miguna in Raila's office, and that is the first time Miguna was entering in Kenyan politics. So before Raila came, we were all at the reception with Miguna, telling us, how he's organizing fundraisers and all that for Baba. So we were wondering, who is this guy telling? Who is this guy? We had not even seen him in the even Philip, I think, was shocked to see that kind of. So
Mm.
when Raila came and he went upstairs in his office, the vehicle, the Red Hammer, was outside. So we went to see the Red Hammer. So Raila came down, inspected his new car, the wheels, and he was asking, "Hey, these wheels, they are so big. How do we even change them?"
Mm-hmm.
So, we, with all the excitement, we even want to touch the car. And George was very, very fast. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Nobody touches or enters this car.
Yeah.
So that's how George protected Raila Odinga. And he took it as, his personal duty to
Yeah.
protect them there. And he did it with a lot of passion. Um, I thought that we just spend a minute or two to talk about George and his family. May his soul rest in eternal peace. This is somebody that I knew him from the Baghdad days when we used to protect Raila with our bodies and the soul and the mind and everything we put on the line of duty without even a pay. Ben, at some point in my life, I've got those cars that we used to follow Raila everywhere. We would guard, protect him, you know.
Yes.
Uh, After that encounter,
Mm.
George brought for me an envelope with a check at some point in Panafric Hotel, and that was a gentleman. That was a gentleman, to be precise, and may his soul rest in peace. And to the family, may you find peace during this time of mourning. Yeah. Now back to our story, Brother Ben, and the story is making headlines as we have seen now. It's Justin Muturi takes aim at the president. I think there's a lot of jabs coming in from Muturi. Muturi
Yes.
is giving a lot of blows to one William Ruto. He did an interview with NTV, and he exposed Ruto's government. What do you think of Muturi coming too late in the day, or this is just a part of the larger scheme of Mount Kenya?
I don't think it's part of larger scheme of Mount Kenya. This is how politics has always been, especially if you disagree with somebody that you had an agreement with. The best thing that you can do, especially you have to outdo your friend, because this might be informed by the way even the president handled Muturi. Remember when president was just about to start or to kick off his Mount Kenya tour, he had an interview with the local TV stations or the local radio stations, and he talked about Muturi on how it happened, like
Mm.
how he employed Muturi, how Muturi told him that he was not able to do that job. And actually, the president there was right, because even Muturi himself confessed that actually he turned down that offer of the president. He told him, "Okay, I just came from the speaker and I cannot be attorney general. You can give me any ministerial post." But the
Mm.
way now president put it, and even before that, when the president was having iftar with our Muslim brothers, he said very well that he used to have an fairly incompetent AG. So Muturi too has to come and you know give response to that. And when you're giving response, you have to make sure that the response that you're giving is much of heavy weight than the one that was given to you. So it usually happens. That is one thing, one way in which you can look at. Another thing also, you can also look at in terms of governance. when you're looking at governance, if all that what Muturi is saying is happening, it makes you wonder what kind of a country or what kind of leaders do we have when we see or when we hear such like incidences that are happening, including mega money deals, So it makes you question, like I say, what is happening? And you ask yourself, why did it even take him so long to come out? So those are some of the questions that you could ask. Also, there's also political part in it. So that is what I think is.
Yeah. You see, like the Kenya shillings 129 billion Russia tree planting deal, and they are all Kimarel Dam projects. Justin Muturi is saying that the Auditor General will very, very soon unleash some of these evidences. But he also says that this is just a tip of the iceberg. There are some deals that the Auditor General cannot even audit. Yeah, there are some grants that are given to the Kenyan government that the Auditor General can not even come close to. Now, this 120 billion Russian tree planting deal that Muturi was just being told to sign and he refused. I mean, so who was going to benefit from this? Who was going to pocket this money?
You see, like if you listen how Justin Muturi was given, most of the time when the government get a grant or the money the government receive any financial aid from international, it has to pass through Treasury or Consolidated Bank. And that one offers accountability and transparency, so that we know these are the money that came into the country and this is such amount that is used. But now, if how Muturi was explaining it, that it came through and the CS or the Ministry of Environment, so it's coming in the docket. So when it comes in the docket, it is not very easy for you to account for it, because it has not passed through the Treasury. So that one tells you how kwa Kiswahili tunasema kwamba nchi yetu ni nchi ya dili. Kila kitu ambacho lazima
ni nchi ya utapeli. Yani wanasiasa ni watapeli, wananchi wenyewe sasa wamekuwa pia wameingizwa katika hiyo utapeli. Hebu tuone ni nini hasa hii video yangu, naona ni kama imehanga ama ni nini hapa?
Yako pande yako ama yangu?
Pande yangu, ama niko sawa?
Naona kama unatashwishi kidogo. Labda unaweza angalia. So unapata kwamba nchi ambayo sisi tuko nayo ni nchi ya dili, ambayo watu wana deal. Naona kuna ndugu yangu ako upande, Douglas Kigoboyo, is he fit to be the president? It depends from how you look.
Ni kama mtambo Ben, tumerudi. Yes. Hey, bana, ama wametufanyia ile kitu bana. Nilikuwa naona ni kama walitufanyia ile kitu, wametuhangisha kidogo hapo, dakika 2 tumezubaa ni nini. Naona serikali ya Kenya iko tayari kuanza kuregulate hizi mambo ya internet. Hakuna information ile itakuwa kienda nje. Sasa wewe na Benson Media muanze kujiandaa. Hebu tusikize huyu Muturi kidogo vile alivyokuwa anasema.
Do you think that's why I refused to sign the very explosive? The Auditor General is going to come up with a report on Arol, Kimwarel, and Itare dams, because it's only Itare dam where those Italian contractors have done 26%. Arol, they contract those Italians, and they were paying billions. They only put in a container. In Kimwarel, nothing has ever happened, because even the report that came, it has a faults underneath. You can't do it. We can't do the dam there. So remember, he has been doing those things, meetings with the Italian Prime Minister, the President, On 3 occasions, I was invited to accompany the team, but I had read the files and I just felt, no, it's not possible. And then Head of Public Service writes to me a letter that the delegation which is going to go there is going to be led by Adil Kawanja, which is one of those very close friends of the president, the chairman of Safaricom Limited, and then the then DPP, Nurdin Haji, and the former Solicitor General. I assigned some other state councils. I said, what is this? But the country is losing, or has lost actually, over 38 billion shillings. And they still, later they wanted me to sign. I said, I can't. I cannot append my signature, not on this.
Can you substantiate all of these allegations that you're making?
Fortunately, I have them on record.
You have paper trail. I
have paper trail. You know, I knew what I was doing. Contrary to what William Ruto may have thought, I am not the kind of person that I keep records. Right. And I have all of them. In fact, on soft.
Okay. As Gabi is saying here, invite him another time because I can't even work. I'm just listening to him explain things. We have about 10 minutes. Mariam, there was a question about... Oh, sorry, you're going to ask something.
No, it's just the level of rot that you're exposing is quite high level. It's deep-rooted, deep-seated. Some people would be, you are privy to it. It's only now from the outside that it's a problem.
Yeah, he said it's because he's a gentleman.
Yes, and you said it's because you're a gentleman, but it's hard not to...
Not to question.
Brother Ben, now you've heard the allegations. Yeah.
Yes, I've
live from Muturi himself. You know, I don't know. What do we still make of these allegations? You know, one thing I want to tell our viewers, and people should know where Muturi is coming from. Do you know Muturi was one of the few politicians who joined UDA very late.
Yeah.
I think he was the last one. He was not decided. He's a very close ally to one Uhuru Kenyatta. That's why I'm telling you that when I saw Muturi join UDA, I knew that the government is going that direction. UDA is going to win. Now I have seen him coming late in the day again to rebel against this government. I can tell you, Muturi knows that this government of William Ruto is going home.
You know, without even looking at whether the government of or the administration of President William Ruto is going home or is not going, or is going or is not or is going home. You know, what Muturi has said, it is not something that is very new that we are experiencing with the administration of President William Ruto. You know, each and every administration, especially when you look at the administration of Kibaki, there was a golden bag. The administration of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, there was the issue of Eurobond. You know, then there was a COVID, and you know, each and every administration must always have these mega scandals that usually surrounds them. And I think that is how our politics is wired, because is politics whereby we do not have values. Because even in his speech, he was talking about like him coming to work with President William Ruto at that age. He thought they were sharing some values. So what were the values that you were sharing with the president? Yeah, because a value for somebody, when you want to look at your value, or you want to know what somebody stands for, it is something that is not a one-day thing. You know, if this is somebody that you've studied, you know what they are made of, you know what they are thinking of, that you cannot tell us that now there's some values that you are sharing. What were these values? And what happened? Did these values change? That is one. Secondly, if in the capacity of Attorney General, you know, some of these issues that Muturi are raising, Kenyans have already raised them long time ago. These are not very new things to Kenyans.
No, but Ben, this is the difference. This is the difference.
Yeah.
Ben raising the issue and Mzalendo raising the issue is a different thing.
Yeah.
But a former AG, a former Speaker of the National Assembly, goes out in public and says that, you know, this government has abducted my son.
But you know,
that is the difference. That is the difference. Tell me of anybody who was raised of such caliber, apart from Gachagua, who was impeached the other day. Tell me of any other person who was raised such issues.
No, the Kenyans, you see, like when you go to the social media, and even listen to Kenyans who are complaining about abduction, you know, because at the end of the day, the government will always take responsibility of what is happening, because it is the prerogative of the government to take care of its citizen. Yeah. If there's abduction, people might put the blame on the government. What is the government doing when abduction is taking place? And that those who might be or were suspecting maybe the government is involved in the abduction. But now, for those who have been suspecting, and now Muturi now comes out, maybe Muturi is now confirming what they've been suspecting, that it is true, because he's the insider.
Yeah, Ben, you are right. You know, you're not getting my point. My point is, you can raise the issue, but when somebody who is sitting in the cabinet says that my son has been abducted by you, the president, that is a different thing. That is war. You know, we can shout all we want and nobody will listen to us. Nobody will even pay attention to what we are saying. As much as it is true and it is in the public domain, but when it is raised by a deputy sitting president, or it's raised by an attorney general of the Republic of Kenya, or a cabinet minister, that is. And imagine the government goes as far as abducting the son of a former attorney general, a former speaker of the National Assembly, and a cabinet secretary, a sitting cabinet secretary in Ruto's government. Look at that magnitude.
I think
for me, was it a security lapse, or what were they thinking?
It is not a security lap. Njiru, I'm not hosting. Actually, this is Mzalendo who is hosting. Njiru is asking for link. I'm not hosting, Njiru.
The link is here. I can give you the link, Njiru. Let me give you the link, Mr. Njiru.
The link with Njiru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know, to me, I think what should worry Kenyans most is if all this what Muturi is saying is true, then we are not in the governable. In terms of, if you look at what is happening, you have the opposition has come into place, all that, and you put it into, and even how the country is now, you know, where we are at, then we need to have a conversation.
You see, we already having the conversation. We're already having the conversation, Ben. My fear is, my greatest fear is that I have seen what is happening in this country. For you and me who are out in the streets there, and other Kenyans who are out there, how safe are they?
That's the question.
Can the government of President William Ruto say that, you know, Kenyans are safe under my regime? Yeah. We have seen. Look at the scenes that we have seen. Forget about even abduction. What we are witnessing, we have seen people being mugged in camera. We have seen thugs following the president's entourage. We have seen a lot of stuff going on. We have seen gangsters operating in major urban centers. Kisumu, where you come from, there are many gang groups that are operating there. There's others who are even poised to come into leadership. I have seen gangsters right now as we are talking, operating in places like ECD. They are known. We have seen people coming on air saying that we know where to buy guns and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
And where are we heading to? You know, as a country, we need to look at things even when we were at our worst during Moi's regime. We have never been at this level where people are operating with a lot of impunity, and the government is cheering.
You know, and this why I tell you where we need to focus on. We need to focus on the leadership and governance. You know, as when you look at what JB Muturi was raising, look at even the 29 billion. Then he talked also about the 38 billion for was it for Itare or what? Yeah,
No, he talked about.
There was
Yeah, Njiro, we are live. We are live. I've sent the link there. We are live on Africa. We are live.
Yeah, Njiro, I'm not. It's hosted on Africa, so you can just join. Then we can
just
have.
Join. I've posted the link. Is he seeing the link?
Or maybe is because if you post it, you can it.
Or is he watching on your channel? Maybe you can post the link on your channel.
No, I cannot post because I do not have the.
No.
No, it should come because like you're posting.
It's already showing on those channels that. Njiru, just join the show. We have missed your debates. Please come on board. So then, this is serious. This is serious.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it, in the entourage, we saw the IG, the police, making things that look political statements in Central Province. You know, so these are not normal things. Kuna vitu zingine zinafanyika Kenya, then unashangaa ni nini mahali tunaelekea. Yeah.
Unajua kitu ni hivi yes Mwaura hivi unajua IG of police to be in the entourage of the president, there's nothing wrong with that, but what is wrong is the statements that he makes. Because when you look at the police, let's say for example, the police are there to provide security for both opposition and the government. But they are not there to make political pronouncement. Yeah. Let's say, for example, if IG was given a chance to speak
do me a favor. Copy that link. You have Njiru's number. Send him directly on his WhatsApp.
Let me. I can.
He's really trying to get in, but I don't know why he can't get in.
I can.
If you have his number, just copy the link and then send it to him.
No, what I can do. Let me see. I think I have his email address. I can send him the link.
Forward him on his email. And you can get the link on your email if you can't get in through StreamYard. But
what is making him not to get through?
I'm just wondering what he's doing, Njiru.
Njiru.
He's asking the name of the channel. The name of the channel is Afrique 24.
Or can you check on Brother Benson Media? Then you can get the link on the comment section.
Yeah, go check on Brother Benson and then you can get the link from there. But it's Afrique 24. And how come you're not seeing the link? How come he's not seeing the link on the comment section, and I'm sending it multiple times. Let me send it one more time. Invite, okay, invite, copy. We Njiru, bana, we click your link. There is a link there, that one for Africa, YouTube. Click that link on StreamYard and then jump in. Njiru is there, you know, you can be able to jump in very, very fast. Anyway, I know Njiru wako na mambo mingi sana nataka kutuambia hapa leo. Now, Ben, we are still on Muturi's case. Muturi has ignited the flame that was already in some other parts of central province. And you know what William Ruto has done? He made sure that the MP for Muturi's area, Njiru is here. Njiru, okay. He made Njiru, welcome to Africa 24. Long time. I hope bado tunapambana tu, bado ni mapambano. Unapambana pande ile ingine, sisi tunapambana pande ingine, brother Njiru. Now Ben, you know what Ruto did? He made sure that the MP for where Muturi comes from is appointed to the cabinet. So definitely we are going to have a by-election in that particular area. But more interestingly, what this guy for Kijana Eugene Wamalwa revealed yesterday is that what William Ruto and Raila Odinga are planning is that they want to put everything on hold until the last minute, such that we cannot have elections in 2027. And there is already a bill in the Senate that has been drafted. It's already in the pipeline that Ruto's term might be extended by the Senate and Parliament before they can constitute IBC. So IBC already has got a teething problem where we have two players, that is William Ruto and Raila Odinga, choosing the people who are going to man the elections. Now, this is the question, Mr. Njiru. Can William Ruto and Raila Odinga be trusted to give us a body that will man the elections in 2027? Bearing in mind that we have something called the broad-based government, how are this, you know, Azimio is dead. How is it going to work?
Yeah, Mzalendo, habari yenu, mnanisikia?
Tunakusikia vyema kabisa, vizuri sana Njiru.
Yeah, wacha ni inject kidogo sababu maneno ni tamu siku hizi. Ukiona gava iko pahali na inashindwa na kufanya chochote, you know, long and gone the days when the government used to be the government. Ile wakati ulikuwa unaona yani serikali ile, sijui kama unakumbuka wakati wa serikali
yani ukiona hata Uhuru alikuwa na hiyo alikuwa nayo kidogo ilikuwa kwa Kibaki imekuwa kidogo, but imepotea hapo kwa Uhuru.
Yani can you imagine ati unapokea president na unajua ni dosi ya uongo unaendea, yani unajua ni ubeshte ni dosi ya uongo. Sijui kama umeona hiyo mkutano ya Embu leo, hata salamu inajibiwa na uongo anasalimiana, watu wanasema uongo. So that is the level, na ujue ni kumaanisha serikali ishapoteza favor yake kwa watu, all people no longer believe in the government. Na hakuna kitu dangerous kama hiyo. Serikali ya Kenya hata ikuje ipe watu nini, they cannot trust it. Na ndio nakwambia sasa hiyo story And if you want to know how the Kenyan government is, the temperature, the thermometer, niyo story ya Muturi leo. Muturi has said more than enough.
Oh, Muturi has exposed.
Mtu ana doubt. Kama kuna mtu ana doubt karakta ya Ruto, unajua saa zingine bwana mzalendo watu wakitusikiliza wanafikirianga sisi ni wenda wazimu. Kuna mtu akikuona hapa akisikia ukiongea anaanza kusema fala ni kazi ya
huyu anajua nini wanaongea nini.
Huyu fala shida yake ni nini? Why can't he make himself busy? Lakini mtu ambaye anashindanga na Ruto ndiye ameongea. So even if you don't want to believe us, unataka kuniambia Muturi tu ni vile tu ametokezea hizo mastori zote alikuwa anaongea.
Muturi sio mtu wa kawaida. Ndio nilikuwa naambia Ben, Muturi si mimi na wewe Njiru. Muturi alimkuwa AG wa Kenya. Muturi amekuwa speaker wa National Assembly. Muturi akitoka hapo amekuwa cabinet secretary kwa hii serikali. Muturi na kitu ile mbaya zaidi, Muturi mtoto wake amekuwa abducted na hii serikali na anakaa kwa meza na mtu ule ameabduct mtoto wake, ndio huyo. Unataka huyu jamaa afanye kazi namna gani?
Let me tell you by the way, Muturi amemaliza Ruto.
Kabisa.
In fact, if there is somebody who want to become the Kenyan president, you just need to uchukue your script ya Muturi and you expand it. Muturi ashapeana baseline information. You don't need a lot. Because already umesikia kwanza Muturi ametumia the word irredeemably corrupt. Irredeemably corrupt. Yani na Muturi anasema story za corruption ya Ruto anaweza elezea siku mzima. Hakuwa na time leo.
Yeah, he was being cut hata studio na mwambia hapana, we need this guy another day.
Difference ya injection ya Muturi na Gachagua ni hii. Injection ya Muturi is systematic and it is connected and it is believable. Sababu he is even in it. Gachagua, shida ya injection ya Gachagua inakuanga moja. Gachagua does not include himself in that. Yetu anatuambiana walikuwa naiba ndani. So
shida yake ingine ni anataka bado kuingia kwa hii serikali. Anapigania sana kotini ya rudi kwa serikali.
Yeah, I understand about that. Hiyo hata sio shida sana. Shida ya Gachagua ni he has not showed us the places whereby he disagreed with Ruto. Tulikuwa tunaongea hivi, this is the point of deflection. Yani yeye Gachagua tu anaanzia kusema mimi nilisikia hiyo, sikutaka, nilisikia hiyo, like he is not showing us. Unasikia Muturi vizuri sana anatuambia nililetewa document, kulikuwa na hawa, like you can follow the corruption scandal.
Like Russians wanapanda miti. Imagine Russians wanakuja kupanda miti bana ya 129 billion. Wow.
Hadi unashangaa, hadi unajiuliza kwani EACC iko wapi? EACC wezi endea president.
The president of Kenya is above the law bana.
Which above the law. Anyway, let me tell you something. Ukiangalia story ya Muturi, frankly speaking, sorry. Ni mimi? Okay. Ukiangalia Muturi, Muturi has given us who Ruto is. Wewe mzalendo, you knew Ruto in theory. Wewe, you know Ruto in theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Unasemanga mwizi, but hatuna data. Sasa Mungu ametuletea jamaa ako na data from personal experience. Jamaa analetewa document hapo, anaambiwa wewe hapana soma, wewe saini haraka. Na sasa hiyo mkubwa amepiga simu. Sasa Muturi ameleta first hand information. So mzalendo ndio nauliza, even if you don't want to believe people like us who do not have information, sisi tu yeah, kazi yetu ni kuongea. Even if you don't want to believe, so ndio nataka kukuuliza kama wewe bwana mzalendo in a scale of 0 to 10. Wewe unaona kama Muturi anadanganya?
You know, this guy, first of all, this guy does not have any corruption scandal. Ukai kujua, he is so authentic. Yani when he's speaking, you cannot say that Muturi alikuwa na scandal fulani. He's not somebody who is very political. He's not as vocal like any other politician, like in a Kalua, like in a Nani. He's nowhere. You can't place him anywhere. He speaks very few times.
Ile shida Ruto alifanya, unajua when you want to, ukitaka kuiba, iba na wezi wenzako. At least tafuta crowd ya kuiba nayo. If you are thief, tafuta crowd ya kuiba nayo. Lakini kuna watu utaenda kuiba nao ulipuliwe. Because he was unable, you see the problem which Ruto did, sababu Ruto ni mwizi sana, he was unable to position strategic thieves with people who can, na ndio nakwambia by the way bwana Mzalendo, we need to thank God. People like akina Muturi and maybe even hata huyo Gachagua, even if simuamini sana, without people like akina Muturi, nakwambia bwana, we could have been buried. Let me tell you, can you imagine kila kitu Ruto anasema inakubaliwa? Let's assume all the 24 CSs, they accept what Ruto says. Tell me, Kenya itabaki nini? Just tell me what will remain in Kenya. CS wa Interior akiambua kuna contract ya 50 billion hapo, hakuna swali, piga muhuri. Wa mining Joho akiambua kuna contract ya 100 million hapo, anapiga muhuri. Tell me tutabakisha nini? Ama akiambua kuna GMO hapo zinafaa kuingia, kuna sugar hapo inafaa kuingia. So ndio najaribu kukuambia, unajua Ruto will now slow down. Ruto hata kama ni mwizi hataiba sana, because sasa hiyo nguo yake ishatoroa. He is now uncovered. Ruto already knows he is a thief. Unajua mbeleni Ruto alikuwa anajua Wakenya hatumjui. Ruto amedanganya watu akiambia watu story ya Mungu sijui nini. So people do not know. For the first time hata nimesikia watu kwa village wakisema, hey, kusikura mtu nimeongea na wako village akwambia, hey, hii maneno ya Muturi, hey, ananiambia, hey, yani like hata kwa village.
Ben what unasikia Jiro.
Msiako village huko kidogo Ben anakaa. Msiako village huko anasikia hiyo story ya Muturi, anataka kukana lakini anasema hey, yani Mzalendo unaelewa, yani unataka kukana hiyo story lakini unasema hey, lakini huyu jamaa what interest ati ni muongo analeta hapa. So yani hata wasipo village wameshtuka, they can't believe bana, sababu wanajaribu kuconnect na yule msi wa Mwadhani ya Gosho, msi wa Mwadhani. So hiyo ndio kitu inasumbua sio kwa akili, Mwadhani ya Gosho musangalire. So you are trying to connect that.
I think wewe mimi kitu nazasema Gachagua is very very poisonous. Gachagua is a venomous snake.
Njiro, from the look of things and how
then you got some audio on your background. There is somebody who's talking on your background.
Okay. Let me.
Yes. Now it unmute. Ambia hawa watu wadalao utakuja baadaye. Sasa tunajadiliana mambo ya Kenya, the way forward. And this is what we do every day, to provide civic education for Kenyans to understand where we are going and where we are not going to go. Again, unajua watu wanashangaa, we might not have even the answer who is the next president of the Republic of Kenya. But the reason why we are here each and every day is that to give you information so that you make an informed choice when you are using that ballot, when you are facing that ballot box with your voter's card. You make that decision. Ben,
okay, let me sort out something, then I come back.
Oh, okay. You better. Now, Njiru, even as Brother Ben comes back, you saw the reception in Central Province, and that tells a lot that this guy has lost ground. This guy has lost legitimacy. The only legitimacy that Ruto has is being brought by the ODM counterpart, Raila Odinga, is the one who is giving William Ruto the lifeline right now. I no longer hear of UDA. Mara ya mwisho ulisikia UDA ni wapi? Yeah, UDA is dead. Where I come from, sisiki hata UDA kama wanaongea. It is just either ni ODM or the broad-based government that is speaking. But one thing that Kenyans should know is that we are not going back to one-party rule. This broad-based government is not what we voted for. For somebody like me who supported William Ruto in the last elections, I would tell you that I had very, very high hopes in William Ruto making the changes that Kenyans really want. We wanted a good economy. We wanted youths to get employment. We wanted good infrastructure. And we thought that the issue of corruption is going to deal with, because he talked about corruption each and every time. But now, when I look at people like Wetangula, the other time he was caught in a scam in Dubai. When you look at people that is serving in the government, is it a government of scammers? Is it a government of scammers, Mr. Njiru?
Bro, wacha nikuambie bwana, hii serikali ya Ruto hata wachana nayo. We are so unlucky that they are the ones who are guiding the government, but the truth of the matter is that hatuna serikali. We just have somebody who is out to root from us, who is out to destroy our food, who is out to destroy our children. Let me tell you, Mzalendo, there will be a tragedy. Ruto akijipata kwa kiti tena 2027. Sasa hata hakuna kitu ameiba. But hata umenishtua sana tukiniambia ati wanataka kuamend constitution ati kusikue na uchaguzi aendelee tu wamuongeze tamu.
Yeah. That is what is in the pipeline.
Kwani yeye ni twin wa uchaguzi, yani ati can you imagine unaongezea mtu hata hakuna kitu amefanya. Huko Embu na Meru ameenda kufungua pipe 2 ya sewage. Pipe 2 zilishikanishwa hivi. Pipe 2 za chuma zilishikanishwa zikawekwa kwa mchanga hapo ndizo anafungua. So ndio nauliza surely huyu mtu why is he being rewarded with a presidential, another presidential term? Ndio ya kufanya kazi gani? So I think we have to collaborate as Kenyans. Tunamalizia aje. Otherwise we cannot entertain this nuisance of somebody who is not doing anything na anataka term nyingine.
But if you find like the people who are entertaining that are the leaders who are grassroots mobilizers, how do you?
Yeah.
You see, Bwana Benson, you entertain yule mtu anaambia Ruto bado wako popular ni Sudi na Faluk. So na umeona already vile Mlima Kenya, you have seen that huyu jamaa na mtu I think kwa sababu alikuwa tu ameenda tu kumuenjoy and I think people want that's an enough litmus test. But sasa kuna kitu inanishangaza, ODM ni nini Ruto anawapea? They are this comfortable, yet they know that this is a guy under collapse. Yani unashindwa yani ya watu yani ndio wanapea Ruto lifeline. That ODM are the people who can actually help us to even bring Ruto down. No, wamekataa.
No, for me, this is how I look at it. Wamekataa sababu moja. They don't have a candidate in 2027. They don't have a candidate, and what the ODM leader has done is that since I don't have a candidate, then the best person to lead my political movement would be William Ruto. I think William Ruto, I will not be surprised if he vies on an ODM ticket in 2027. If he vies on an ODM ticket, I will not be surprised if William Ruto is chosen as the ODM candidate. There's a lot of politics that is going to happen in the next few days. There will be a merger. They can kill William Ruto right now. Raila Odinga can tell him, you finish UDA and be part of ODM, and we are going to give you the ticket to run for presidency. And as I had told you, the amendment by Cherengai, by Senator Samson Cheregai, suggesting the proposal of the constitutional amendment to increase the term limit for the president from 5 to 7 years. Is also
that's what shut down.
But it can still be introduced. I can tell you it will be introduced, and people will look the other way, because what Ruto has is the majority in parliament. What can they do? What can he not do right now? He has the majority in parliament, and he has the majority in the Senate. So Ben, this is something that is likely going to happen. You know, when you are cornered, you can do anything.
Something that I usually say that as a country is the people of that country can decide on what to do. Because like Njiru was talking about the ODM leaders, what are they getting from the president? But now, what is the voters saying about what is happening? What are the voters saying about what is happening?
Yeah, Yeah, the voters are the biggest problem. The voters are the biggest problem, because the voters have decided to go by. Somebody today, I saw in another joke that another lady really screaming and shouting the way the ODM people have sold their soul to Ruto and all that. Is really complaining. She's really complaining. But you see now, that is the comfort zone. You have been given a few cabinet positions, and then you control the committees in parliament and in the Senate. You are okay. They are contented with that. Political parties are formed to join government. So they have joined the government. In fact, I call them scavengers. These are people who who have joined the government through the back door, and they're okay.
I think generally in the country, as we look at the country, we have each and every region has some issues that they're dealing with. Because when you look at right now, when you go to the Nyanza area or the Luo Nation, they will feel like now we are in government because we've been given the ministerial post like finance or treasury. Because even I saw there was a guy who was saying like ever since in the history of this country, we've never had a treasury, the CS, and that is why we need to be in this government. That's how. And later you come and ask, what do that one assist you with, or how does that one benefit you? So each and every region, and there's also what we call the emotional. When people come together, like now the political realignment, some people do it in terms of emotion. You're trying to pay somebody as a revenge. Yeah, so when such like issues are brought into the ballot box, those issues does not answer the challenges that people are asking for or people are going through. Yeah. How is you voting just because you are revenging on somebody who did not agree with them during the last general election, or in terms of
you've heard that argument that we are finished. We are helping people who voted for UDA finish the rest. That's a very useless kind of thought. You know that this government is bad. Why are you still encouraging it to go on? Why can't you do something about it?
I don't think that the government is bad. I just think it's just only the system. Because if you look at the faces that are running the government, they've been in the faces that has been there ever since.
But that is the thing, Ben. We have not had a good government ever since. So what are you saying? That is this is a journey that started a long time ago. It's not even about William Ruto. William Ruto amepatikana tu kwa hiyo wave, but he's now a victim of change that the people want. He's a victim, so he's being swept by the tsunami. So for him, I think he needs just to pack and go at some point, because this is just serious. Yeah.
The only way that we will answer these questions is when the voters will decide, and they want to know what kind of Kenya do we want. Until that time, because like what has been driven, let's say for example, even the people that have been given the mandate to serve the Kenyan people, especially when you're looking at the CSS, because it is always them to do what is right. What if there's like a procurement that is coming that is not constitutional? Look at even the planting tree issue. Look at the Kimwarera Roar and Itare Dam that Muturi was talking about. Look at the Ketraco. Look at Adani. Try to look at all those deals. And nobody's raising those red flags. Even the Justin is just coming maybe because they disagree.
No. The Auditor General raised the flags, Ben. The Auditor General, Kimarel, was raised by, in fact, ODM then, when it was in the opposition, raised the red flag. And the Auditor General raised the red flag. Look at Adani. People raised the red flag. So people have been vigilant. But you see, this is where...
But how does that one translate to voting?
No, a president can decide to do the right thing. Do you agree with that? Can a president decide, yes, now manze hii kelele ni mimi nimesema, sasa leo we are going to do the right thing. Ben, sasa kuanzia leo we are going to do the right thing. Hii cabinet kwendeni huko. Mambo ya SHA, bring for me experts who can run this SHA. Advertise, let somebody who can come run the SHA thing. Mambo hii ACC, kama kuna corruption case, kama umejua umeiba pesa ya Kenya.
Unajua mzizi ambao sisi tumejitengenezea sisi kama Wakenya ni sisi wenyewe tunafaa tujalimu. Unajua mi mara mingi nasema watu huwa wanakashifu sana maviongozi, lakini hao maviongozi wajapata hizo nyadhifa kwa njia ambao labda walinyang'anya watu amani. Hao watu walipata hizo nyadhifa kwa sababu walipigiwa kura. Na hao watu ambao wanawapigia kura unajua historia zao vizuri, si ati haujui. So ni sisi wenyewe kama wananchi wa Kenya wajue sisi tunataka nini.
Anyway, Ben, thank you. I think we're coming to an end of the show. This show is normally 1 hour strictly. 60 minutes, we do it for only 1 hour. We talk about our country, the country that we love most, and that is Kenya. And most importantly, we are here to give you the civic education. Sometimes we go overboard, and sometimes you can take the opinions that are shared among the panelists here, but most of the time these are individual thoughts, and it is not the position of Africa 24. Now,
and one thing that now I think, like, some of the things that we should now start conversation about. Let us not converse about now saying that leaders. No. The leaders do not have a problem. You are the person who have a problem because you've given the mandate.
Exactly. Me, sometimes, I am tired of saying Ruto is bad. No. And then when you go to my WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group that I am in, I am seeing so many other people who are supporting William Ruto. Ruto and all that. And they don't understand your argument that this country, we need to govern it in a certain direction. But Ben, I said one thing. When the Gen Zs came, William Ruto had an opportunity to change this country forever, and he never took the opportunity. What he did, he brought in Raila Odinga and his group and thought that was a solution. It was not a solution. What is boiling in Kenya today, nakwambia hiyo moto ni, yani hataweza kuizima. Hataweza kuizima.
Hopefully he will not. And at least mimi now kitu ambacho naweza sema. One, the president now should stop about this
these tours.
These tours.
These tours are just a waste of taxpayers' money. This is the old traditional way of doing things. Rais kako ofisi pale Harambee House, fanya ukitaka kufungua soko Embu, fungua soko kuwa hapo. Fungua hata na simu.
Unajua how did you see the choppers that went in the second day of his tour?
Ziko ni kama ndege, ni kama nini, zimejaa angani pale. Hiyo ni taxpayer ya money.
So compare the money yenye imetumiwa on the choppers and what maybe the projects that are being launched and everything, entourage yenye iko.
Brother Ben, the most important discussion that we should be having is that the political class is ruling Kenya.
Yes.
The political class is ruling Kenya, and they have to be there at all costs. And we, the voters, have made sure that these guys will continue eating and eating as we watch them. Tuseme tu tumekubali wametushinda. Hao ndio wana mshahara kubwa zaidi kushinda madaktari. Hao ndio wako na sitting allowance mzuri. Hao ndio wako na magari mazuri. Hao ndio wamenunua manyumba mazuri. Hao ndio wenye mabiashara za makuku, mabiashara za mapetroli na nini. Nyinyi wananchi wa kawaida hamna chenyu. When will they? That is the message. That is the message that is going. Ben, your last shot. I know you are in a meeting. Maliza, you are in short.
Mimi sina mengi la kusema, lakini mimi nawarai tu Wakenya wenzangu, ambapo ikifika wakati wa kupiga uchaguzi, mchague viongozi ambao wako na maono, ambao wanaweza leta mabadiliko katika nchi. Msipige tu kura alafu kisha baadaye mkuje mkasema kwamba viongozi ambao tuliwachagua ni wabaya. Wakati ambapo unakashifu maviongozi, lazima nyinyi wenyewe pia mjikashifu, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mliwapigia kura. Hivi ndio kitu ambacho naweza sema.
All right, Ben, thank you for joining us tonight on Africa. This story is far from over, and we will be here again in the evening to turn the pages and see what has transpired in the political scene. Otherwise, guys, if you are watching us on other channels, make sure that you subscribe to Africa 24. If you're on the comment section, I can see one gentleman there, Douglas. Asante sana for being on the comment section. Nicholas Nyabaya, leo hakuna moto Kenya. Wewe ungekuja kwa studio leo, kuja kwa studio tuambie ni kwa nini una support serikali mbaya, kwa nini una support abduction, kwa nini una support uchumi mbaya. Please, ungekuja utuambie hapa, kwa sababu mimi najua wewe uko upande ule mwingine wa serikali, unaona vitu ziko sawa, kwa sababu wewe umepatiwa komiti fulani, uko na mshahara ya wabunge, uko na allowance na uko na gari, uko na nini. Wewe kama mbunge Mr. Leo Nyabaya, wewe ni mbunge wa pale Ugenya, tafadhali wananchi wako wanaumia sana. Kata hiyo mshahara yako kidogo, wagawie wananchi wale pale huko Ugenya, huko Ugunja, ili yao pia waweze kufurahi, ama madaktari pia wapate riziki yao. So hiyo ndio kitu tunaangazia hapa Afrika sana. Watu wote wakuwe na usawa, lakini isikuwe ni viongozi wale wako pale mamlakani wanasikia vizuri zaidi kushinda wananchi wenyewe. So sisi tunakataa mamlaka zaidi ya urais, na tunakataa mamlaka zaidi ya wabunge kushinda wale wanaopigia kura. So ndio maana tuko hapa Africa 24 kila wakati. Otherwise, asanteni sana kwa kuwa nasi siku ya leo. Jioni ya leo tutakuwa na show ingine murwa tena. I hope Brother Ben atakuwa nasi hapa, na kama pia uko huko nje unatafuta channel ya kuwatch, ona Brother Benson Media pale kwa YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. If you are looking for a home for real politics, real stories, uncensored stories, not biased. When Ruto is doing well on certain areas, we will tell you here on Africa 24. When the government is going wrong, we will also inform you here on Africa 24. Otherwise, thank you very much for being with us this evening. Asante sana, kwaherini.